Hi, folks. This is Sid from 3 Minute Travel Tips and MagicofMickey.com. Welcome to 3 Minute Travel Tips Live. 3 Minute Travel Tips Live is a roundtable discussion with travel professionals and industry bloggers. We're here to talk about vacation topics in a little more detail. Each 30-minute show will feature a segment where we dig just a little bit deeper than our usual 3-minute format. Vacation planning doesn't have to be complicated. We're all about offering video content to help make your vacation experiences memorable. And today's topic is a good example. We're offering some tips about visiting Walt Disney World Resort with those who may be autistic. And we've got the lowdown in 30 minutes or less. First, I'd like to introduce our guests. We have Monday Cleghorn. Monday is owner and president of Magic of Mickey Travel. Magic of Mickey Travel has earned quite an honor within the Disney organization. It is recognized by Disney to be an authorized Disney vacation planner. Monday, how are things in Alabama?
Hot. They are very hot, Sid. How are things in Georgia?
Georgia is about the same. We've got some toasty weather as well. A little bit later on, we're going to be talking about a cruise, I think, and I think both of us are going to be ready for that cruise.
You better know I'm ready.
No, these warm temperatures, we're definitely feeling it.
Yes.
Well, next up, we have Kristen Brinkle. Kristen is also a travel professional with Magic of Mickey Travel, and she's very knowledgeable about the topic about special needs, and with a son who has has special needs. Kristen, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sid. How are you today?
Doing well, and I don't know if folks can tell. I think, if I understand it correctly, you may have a little bit of rain going on in the background out there.
Exactly, yes. It's like downpouring here.
Well, everybody, I think we could use a little bit of the rain here ourselves. But well, before we get into our main topic, we do have some news to report, and I'd like to toss it over to Monday. Monday, if memory serves me correctly, I think there's a cruise coming up here. We just referenced to, and
so
the last I checked, it was almost sold out.
It is.
It's very popular. What's the status on the cruise?
There are only 2 types of staterooms left. One is the family veranda stateroom and just a regular veranda, but there's very, very few left. We are going on a Disney cruise September the 16th through the 19th. It's a 3-night cruise going to the Bahamas, and we're taking our friends, our agents, our fans, anybody that loves 3-minute travel tips, anybody that loves Magic of Mickey Travel is welcome to go with us. We've got about 40 staterooms right now, so we are really excited.
Oh, it's going to be a wonderful experience, and for those first-time cruisers, a 3-day cruise is a great little taster experience. You get feet wet, if you will, in a literal sense. And I must mention too that if you're watching this broadcast and if this cruise is already passed, it definitely is worthwhile to talk to some folks with Magic of Mickey Travel, because I mean, even just a few days ago, Monday, they released some special pricing for military rates, and there's all kinds of rates that can come up. So tell us about, wouldn't you say there's a lot of different opportunities there for those that are looking for something?
Absolutely, especially if you're wanting to go on a Disney cruise. Disney cruises are fantastic. They have the Star Wars cruises that will be next year. We just had some this past spring, but they've brought that back for next year. And then the military rates, like you were talking about, those are for special sailings. They're October 7th, 15th, 22nd, 29th, and the 8th. Those are all military rate. They have military rates on those cruises, and it's really limited. About 50 staterooms are available for those military rates. So if you are military, then I encourage you to contact one of the travel professionals at Magic of Mickey Travel, and let us see what kind of rates we can get for you. And also, this cruise that we're going on, I mean, like I said, rooms are so limited, they're almost gone. So get in touch with one of us about that, and let us get you booked for it.
Excellent. It's shifting gears a little bit. Some things are happening over in the parks as well. I understand some parades are shifting around a little bit. What's happening with the parades?
Yeah, Main Street Electrical Parade at Walt Disney World at the Magic Kingdom is going away. Sad, sad. So we're hoping something good like Paint the Night might come to Walt Disney World, but who knows? You know, it's all up in the cards. We don't know. So, but Paint the Night is leaving Disneyland. So, and Main Street Electrical Parade is going to Disneyland, and it will be there for a limited time. I have no idea how long, but the last day at Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World will be on October the 9th. So if you want to see that, you better get down there and get something booked and get down there. And we have some really good rates for the fall and winter months. So, you know, contact us for some of those special promotions that we've got going on.
That's true, and I think I've mentioned before with after seeing Paint the Night last fall, right now it's for me it's my most favorite parade that Disney has. It's an outstanding experience. To see it at Disneyland would be wonderful. At the same time, if you're looking to go down to Walt Disney World Resort this fall, not only do you want to see the Main Street Electrical Parade, but if I remember right, they've extended a few weeks as far as the food lines, so you could actually kind of kill two birds with one stone, possibly.
Right, and it's been extended through November 14th, so September 14th to November 14th, and that's some really good dates. It's a great experience, so I encourage anybody that's a foodie to go to this. There's a lot of really good chefs. Some from the Food Network will be there, and we met when we went on our Adventures by Disney trip to Italy. We met a young lady who taught us how to make pasta in Tuscany, and she was there last year, and she'll be there again this year. So her name is Sarah Fiorini. So that's exciting to me. I hope to get down there sometime in November so I can meet up with her again.
That kind of, as they say, it's a small world, huh?
It is.
Well, today's topic is it's a unique topic. For folks. One of the reasons that Disney destinations are so popular is the effort that the company makes in providing an inclusive experience for all guests, regardless of their disabilities or circumstances. Their goal is to create an enjoyable experience for any and all folks that come on property. Many programs have existed for several years. Well, that being stated, Walt Disney World Resort, you're going to find at times circumstances where the situation may be a bit noisy or crowded, and for children that may be diagnosed with autism, that experience may be a little bit overwhelming. Well, today we're talking about autism and special needs when visiting a Disney theme park, and we're offering tips on how to make the experience enjoyable for the family and for the child in particular. And Kristen, you're familiar with kind of a special needs circumstance. For those that may not be familiar with special needs and autism, can you share how would you define it? What is autism?
Well, autism, thanks, Sid. Autism is a form of disability that children have. There's so many different levels that is on the spectrum of autism. It all boils down to everyone has developmental delays in some form. Autism is the main one out there, and what I feel is autism and Disney, they make a beautiful friendship. It's just a wonderful place to be. I have a special needs son myself, and when we go to Disney, it's like our calming activity. He just loves Disney wholeheartedly. We hardly have any meltdowns when we are on Disney property. We do stay at a Disney resort. We have our tickets in hand before we go, so we don't have to stand on lines to get tickets and so forth. We do the Disney package, which is a great value and makes it easy just to go in and out wherever we need to be. Because when you have a child that's on the spectrum, you don't know where life is going to take you. he might be ready to go on this ride when you're wanting to go to a different place. There's no rhyme or reason. You just kind of go with the flow with them, and Disney makes it possible for that to happen. They have so many services in place that just makes it a smooth transition, no matter what area you're in. If you're in a dining restaurant, if you're in a resort, or in any of the parks or the attractions. They make it just possible to have a great family vacation, because when we go, we just cannot get over how much our son is taken by walking in on Main Street, USA. When he sees the palm trees, he calls them Mickey trees, and he knows we're ready to be at Mickey's place. Some of the Disney services, some parents feel like, oh, I could never bring my child there, it's just too noisy and so forth. Well, Disney also has calming areas, and that is a wonderful, wonderful thing, because sometimes when the child has sensory overload, or it's overstimulated from sounds, sights, even smells, like I know one ride, Journey into Imagination at Epcot, they have the scents that squirt out, and some children, that would be a very bad, episode. So therefore, when you have Disney giving you all these different brochures, you have YouTube, they have cast members that are always in place to answer any questions you have before you go on a particular attraction, so therefore there's no surprises for the child.
I think I follow. Basically, and this leads kind of in the second area you're talking about. As a mom, Kristen, would you say probably the first thing you need to address is preparation for a trip? And what are some steps that you would take as far as preparing for a trip?
Definitely. Some of the steps that I would take is to prepare him by showing him some videos of what to expect when we go to Disney. I always make sure we bring favorite toys or an iPad, so that way he's comfortable with something from home that's like a security blanket, so to speak. These children are very, very loving their special items, because for them it's a calming situation. I also make sure that I call ahead. You can call ahead to Disney and discuss any dietary issues that your child might have. The chefs all over property, whether it's in the parks or any restaurants, any resorts, they accommodate, they go above and beyond. My child, he only eats cheese pizza. Well, the chef at Be Our Guest, his name is John, and he knows us by Zachary's first name now. And we go for breakfast either there or Ohana's, and they go and get a pizza from another location and bring that there, so we as a family can all eat breakfast together, even though he does not eat any breakfast food. So something like that, Disney accommodates over the top.
That's quite a story, Monday. It sounds to me like then one of the key things that, from a preparation standpoint, would be that the mom or the dad, the parent, should probably communicate, and that is communicate their circumstances. And this rolls right into kind of your area, because the first point of contact certainly could be a travel professional. Am I reading that correctly?
That's absolutely right. And what Kristen was talking about, of course, she is one of our travel professionals, and she would do that for her client if she's got a client that is dealing with that as well. And that's what we do. I mean, if you are going down to Walt Disney World, the best thing to do if you've got a child or someone in your party that does have special needs, the best thing to do is don't try to do this on your own. Try allow one of us to assist you with it, because we do know who to contact about certain things like dietary needs, or that's what we do. And especially we have, if there's things that we maybe are not sure of, but we do say we get a guest, maybe I get a guest that is autistic. Well, I know who to go to on our team who has somebody that is autistic, and she can help me, as I'm guiding my client. And we're going to be there to assist the whole way. So, the best thing to do is to contact your travel professional. Let them take care of all of this for you. But yes, definitely communicate. And a lot of times things get lost because there's not communication.
Well,
So
the travel professional can be kind of the information, that initial point of contact or conduit to find out more information, whether it's with another travel professional in the group who's familiar with the condition, maybe a parent, or if there's some direct interaction that may be needed, or certainly helpful from a Disney standpoint. So yeah, it sounds like a great opportunity to convey some information. Kristen, I'd like to kind of go back a little bit. You touched on it a little bit, and this has to do with when the guests actually enter the park, and you'd mentioned something about having some calming things and having some areas that maybe a child could go to. Can you share a little bit about that? What are we talking about when we're actually visiting the parks?
That would be any child, if they get, when they're autistic, sensory issues are a big part of their disability. So calming areas would be anywhere that's like sometimes in a first aid area. At Magic Kingdom, I know right to the off Main Street, they have one in there where you can go in, you can have a seat, it's cool, you just, take some time just to sit down, relax, maybe get a cool washcloth, let the child shut their eyes for a moment. A lot of times also, like, a bear hug helps with these children, and sometimes you might have to just do that in private so they feel very secure, and calming areas are amazing. No matter where you are at any Disney park, you can always ask a cast member, and they're going to have the locations for you to go no matter where. They also have companion restrooms, which is also a great big help because they're larger. You can go in there with your child. That might be, the quickest place to, if they're having a meltdown, that might be a quicker place, just to duck in for a moment. There is one thing about the restrooms, though, that if your child has issues to noises, the automatic flushes. That does, because that scares my child. So from
and they're loud.
Very loud.
And so it's one thing you'd want to share that with your child ahead of time, and
right.
And
it goes off, periodically, and so there's no. You want to prepare them for something like that, and that's something that you probably wouldn't think of when you're on a Disney vacation. But that's what us professional travel professionals here would be glad to give you, our extra inside Mickey tips, so to speak.
Well, now there's also, Disney also makes some allowances if you're traveling with guests where you can, and Kristen, you can share a little bit about this, where if they go to guest relations, there are programs in place that allow them to I guess you could say it's not really a fast pass, but allows them to avoid those lines as well. And there's a program involved.
You're so right, Sid. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's called the Disability Access Pass, And that is wonderful, especially if, it's very hard for autistic children to stand still, or be in lines with other people around them. Um, Sometimes a lot of these children like rocking and stuff, and you don't want anyone, to bring attention to that. So this pass allows you to go to an attraction, and you just let the cast member know. You go to the Fast Pass line and let them know that you have the Disability Access Pass, which will allow you and your family to have a comeback time, so that way when that time is available, you just walk right through the line. Um, that just makes it so much easier. That's just one of Disney's many, many services that they do to help accommodate these families, so you can have an enjoyable vacation together.
Excellent. Well, I'll include a link here also. We've done a 3-minute travel tip live segment specifically on the program. It gives you all the details and what's needed and the process to apply and as far as that goes. And Monday, I think one of the things that where a travel professional may also have an important role is in guiding the guests on where to stay. Maybe if you can chat a little bit about that relationship, what a travel professional can do as far as accommodations.
Absolutely. We would, of course, as we talked about communication, it's really key when it comes to making sure that everything is, I guess, safe. Maybe safe is not the right word, but that it fits the needs of the child or adult even with these special needs. So be sure to communicate with a travel professional. We're going to be able to find out from you what type of room you need, where that needs to be. Does it need to be on a ground floor? Are they okay with staying up higher than that? Do they need to be in a place that's really active or in a place that's more relaxed? So that's what we do. And again, like I said, just you rely on us as the guest and let us do all of that for you. And we communicate with, we have so many contacts at Walt Disney World that, we can reach out to, and they're always really good. If we've got any kind of special needs like that, they're so great about working with us. And that's what, again, we are for. But I wanted to mention something that, we were also talking about the parks, but there are maps at each park that are specifically for guests with special needs, disabilities. So be sure to look for those when you go into the parks. You can get any of those. They'll have all the different locations that are good for, like what we're talking about, the calming areas and things. And speaking of that, I like to go to the calming areas every once in a while. I need to calm down myself every once in a while. I get to having too much fun. So.
Right.
Well, I think the basic message here from both of you ladies, and Kristen, you pipe in here, whether you may be facing kind of an autistic situation, special needs kind of situation, you can still have an absolutely wonderful visit at Walt Disney World Resort.
Exactly. One example I'd like to share is my son. He absolutely loves trains and the monorails. Those are his love. And when we go to Disney, of course, we leave our car and we let Disney do all our driving for us with their buses or monorails or boats. And so we went to Animal Kingdom one day, and my son sees the tram from the parking lot to the gate, and he wanted to ride that. And of course, we didn't have our vehicle there, but they were so accommodating. They let us ride that tram 7 times around the parking lot with them. And every stop it made, we were on there 7 times. Yes, we do what we got to do, but that's just one of Disney's favorite things for him, and they were so accommodating. After that, they were so in love with the child, they brought him to the store and let him pick out a toy.
Wow.
So that's just one of the ways that Disney and autism form a beautiful
uh,
friendship.
yeah, the reality is they can their goal is to create some magical and wonderful memories, and
Yeah.
it's a wonderful location to do it.
Right, and
It-
don't let the special need intimidate you from going, because there's so many things to do, and there's so many ways that you can do it to accommodate that person that has the special needs, and Disney, they're phenomenal on every level of service. I mean, they're just phenomenal, and you are always going to have somebody there who can take care of you in any situation that you're in. We actually experienced a tragic situation recently there, and we're just overwhelmed by the gracious attitudes of the cast members, and the way they took care of us. So, just don't be intimidated by special needs and Walt Disney World together, because, like Kristen said, it is a beautiful relationship.
Well, the key here is to communicate and ask and
Mm-hmm.
just share. And ladies, I got to thank you. It's a good topic. Obviously, y'all can be some wonderful resources for those who want to learn more about. But I hate to do it. We're to a point where we need to wrap it up. And before we do wrap it up, we've got about a short little bit of time left to do what we call our tip of the day. And Monday, I'd love for you to share briefly, what is your tip of the day?
Well, speaking of what we talked about earlier, going on a Disney cruise, one thing that I love about going on Disney cruises is my Disney Cruise Line Navigator app. So you need to go on, if you have a smartphone, go on your whatever that store is. Ours is the App Store because I've got an iPhone. So go on your App Store and download that Navigator app, and it gives you a countdown. As you can see, mine says 31 days. So I'm really excited about mine. But this Navigator app will tell you when you're on the ship. It'll have deck plans on it. It'll tell you everything that's going on the ship. So you can also chat with other guests who are on the ship through this phone app. So download it if you're going on a Disney cruise. And if you're not going on a Disney cruise, contact one of us and you can.
And the app is free too.
It is free.
Excellent. Kristen, what is your tip of the day?
My tip of the day, Sid, is when you're visiting Epcot in the World Showcase, that take the time to go into each country, not just the beginning, all the way to the back.
Mm-hmm.
Every single country has something very unique to their own country and their own traditions that is just remarkable. And so many people miss it because, it's not listed on the Disney brochure, but just like Morocco, if you go all the way to the back, there is a restaurant back there. That's beautiful. So many people, I don't think, realize that. There's also an area where they have a whole bunch of rugs that you can plop on and take lots and lots of photos with your family and just have fun with it.
You'll also see Aladdin and Jasmine back there.
Yes, exactly. There's just so many things to do at each country at Epcot that it's sure not to miss. It's not just, the front of it. Go into each country and get that experience. It's so worth it.
Go explore, in other words. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Well, my tip of the day has to do with what many people, including myself, consider Disney's greatest assets, and that is their employees, or more affectionately known by Disney as cast members. And my suggestion is if a cast member makes your trip enjoyable, acknowledge it. Tell them give them a thank you if they've done something really nice for you. And if the cast member has gone out of their way to make an experience to be outstanding, I suggest you acknowledge it even further. Maybe visit guest relations and tell them about the experience in a little detail. You may not know the person's name, and that's okay. But let the guest relations person know, and they'll track it down a little further. And the reason for it is because not only can it help that cast member as far as giving them a little bit of an attaboy, but it lets Disney know that that maybe this is something that they should do even more often. And hopefully then future visits are going to be even better because they know they've been given that feedback. But anyway, I hate to do it. We are tight on time. I would like to thank both Monday and Kristen of Magic of Mickey Travel for joining us in the broadcast. But that is it. In 30 minutes or less, for all your Disney travel needs, reach out to any of the dream makers at Magic of Mickey Travel. And for more travel tips, please subscribe below or check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. And you can also reach us at our blog website, 3minutetraveltips.com. Thanks for watching.